Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Amber's Apron. So today is going to be just a quick little segment. What I'm doing is I'm getting ready to make breakfast for church in the morning, and what I'm making is something kind of weird. I'd never heard of it before, and I don't know if you've heard of it either, so I really wanted to share it with you. These are called sausage pinwheels. Basically, it's biscuit dough rolled out really thin, and then you put sausage on top. Roll it up like a cinnamon roll, slice it, put it in the freezer and let it get hard, and then you bake it, and it looks like pinwheels, little pinwheels, and it tastes like sausage biscuit. So I'm making those for our church in the morning, mainly because I had a lot of buttermilk. So you guys know my biscuit recipe. If you don't, go back and look. I'll include the recipe in the description. So as you know, it's super easy, and I've already got everything mixed up. So I've got the baking powder, the sugar, the bisquick in here, and all I'm doing, y'all, is making my biscuit dough, and instead of cutting it out, I'm just going to roll it thin, sprinkle some sausage on there, and then slice them up. These are going to be so good. My buttermilk. And then I'm going to stir it. I have eaten these, and let me tell you, I've eaten these like I was starved to death. They're so good, and they're addictive. And I used to work with a little lady named Barbara. And anytime so let me just tell you, we like to eat. I worked at the same place I do now, just in a different area, and we would try to eat at least once a week. Shocking, I know. And we would always, like kind of come up with a theme, like, what could we have this day? Oh, let's do, what is it? Chili and chips and cheese, or hot dogs and chili, or, whatever. And so we would always need something for breakfast because we like to eat as soon as we got there. So Barbara would always say, I'll bring sausage pinwheels. And at that time, I worked with another girl. Her name was Crystal. Crystal and I loved sausage pinwheels. We loved them. I would be ashamed to tell you how many of those I would eat in one sitting. Because they're good. You just pick them up and you just eat them, and it's like a little bitty sausage biscuit. Not little bitty, because they're like cinnamon rolls, but they're thin. And you can just eat and eat and eat. It's not like a big old thick biscuit with a big old thick piece of sausage on it. And so it got to be a thing. Like it became a joke about how, Barbara, make those sausage pinwheels. And Barbara retired. It's been sad. Nobody's made sausage pinwheels. And now I'm in a different area. I'm in the same group of people. We're just in a different place. And we still eat at least once a month. We try to excuse it by birthdays. But the only person who had a birthday in July was America. And we still ate to celebrate her birthday. So anyway. And nobody brings sausage pinwheels. Somebody usually stops at McDonald's and, gets biscuits, or one of my girlfriends, the one I share recipes with, she always brings in this blueberry dish, the one I talked about in one of my other videos. It's amazing. I've got to do a video on it because it is one of my most favorite things of all time. And she'll bring it, and, we'll eat it. But nobody brings sausage pinwheels anymore. So I had extra buttermilk, and I thought, I'll just make, instead of biscuits, I'll do sausage pinwheels. Maybe nobody at church has had them before. If it hadn't been for Barbara, I never would have. It's so good. And actually, if you see me struggling, I intentionally made my biscuit dough just a little drier than usual. Usually it calls for a cup of buttermilk, and I measured out a cup, and then I poured a little back in because I thought I need it to be a little drier because the sausage is going to create grease, and the grease is kind of going to ooze into the bread, so I wanted it to be a little drier. I don't want them to be greasy. And I know that sounds weird. They're not. It's just like biscuits with sausage. So good. Man, me and Crystal, She doesn't work there anymore. And she, you know how you have those work friends? I was pregnant with my oldest. And honey, every time I ate, she would eat with me. She was that work friend where you could just, you know, we would go to lunch together, or, you know, if I wanted to walk across the street on my break, on my 3 o'clock afternoon break, and buy some barbecue and some dill pickle flavored chips, she would go with me and she would eat. So she ended up gaining more weight than I did when I was pregnant. And it was so funny because after I had him, I didn't go back to work for a while, and she would come see me at my house and be like, I gained more weight than you did. I don't know how I'm going to lose this weight. She was one of the best. So much fun. I miss working with her. But yeah, every time Barbara made sausage pinwheels. And then we had another lady who worked with us. Oh, I should do this one. Oh, I need to email her and get that recipe. So we worked with a woman named Fran. And every time we made food, Fran had to make banana split pie. And I don't know if y'all have had it. When I've talked about it to other people, they don't know what I'm talking about. It is phenomenal. It's like bananas and Cool Whip, maybe a little pineapple. Gosh, I don't even know what all was in it. And she had topped it off with Cool Whip, so it had Cool Whip all over the top. And then she like squirted strawberry syrup and caramel and butterscotch and hot fudge on top of that. And that's what the pie looked like. Like it was in a graham cracker crust, and it was a banana split pie. It was so good. So every time Fran was there, she had to make the banana split pie. Lord, y'all, it was like a family. We used to eat all the time. And we would take our lunches, like on the days we ate, you know, we would start at breakfast, because that's what you do. And we would go to lunch. Everybody would take lunch at the same time. We would sit out at the conference table and we would eat like a family, and it was just so much fun. Those were the good old days. And then we of course, as people retired, we got some newcomers. So I've got Marilyn now, and Marilyn makes the best. She's a baker. She makes, gosh, anything that she makes is good. But my favorite cake of all time, it's called a Mexican wedding cake, and she makes the best. Don't tell my mama. My mama makes it, and she makes it okay for my birthday, but Marilyn makes it better. But it is I don't even know how to describe it. The cake bread, it's like a white cake bread with some spices. It's got like some canned pineapple in it, like crushed pineapple maybe. And it's a dense cake. It's so good. And then it's got this homemade cream cheese icing with pecans on top. One day, I kid you not, no, Barbara wasn't still there. This was a while back. This was a long time ago. She made it for my birthday, and I ate 4 pieces of that cake. 4 big old pieces of that cake. I was miserable, but it was so good. And all I wanted was a glass of milk to go with it. I was like, if I just had a glass of milk. Lord, I ate too much, y'all. I ate way too much. But Marilyn makes anything good. She actually makes pecan pies. Now, I don't like pie. I don't like the crust. Even like on cheesecake, I don't like the crust. So she makes pecan pies, and I will eat the goo. You know, the goo in pecan pies? I'll eat the goo, but I don't like the crust and all that. So I don't make pies, but she makes really good pecan pies, and actually she sells them. And we used to have a woman that worked there. I won't say her name because I associate her name with bad words. She was mean. She was awful. And she bought some pies from Marilyn, and she accused Marilyn of putting apples in them because it had apple peels. Let's just take a minute. Roll our eyes, shall we? You know, with the goo that's in pecan pies, when it bakes, it rises. And then when it cools off, it settles. And it's like that little bit of goo had come up against the crust, like had risen in the oven, and then it settled. And when it did, it left that little, you know, like a dried gooey texture. And homegirl thought it was apple peels. Really? Really? She was a work. Lord have mercy. That woman would send me home. She would tell me I was dressed inappropriately. She would send me home to change. Do you know how I was dressed inappropriately? I had worn a tunic with leggings. And so one day I got mad and I went home to change out of my tunic that hid my behind and my leggings that were down by my ankles. I changed into this hoochie mama skirt, like this short skirt that was real tight. It was like a pencil skirt. So it was real tight and real short. And then I had this shirt that was low cut. It was royal blue. It was low cut and it had these big like puffy sleeves with a band, you know, so it was puffy. And it had this, I think it was like, what is it, a sweetheart neckline, so it kind of looks like a heart, but it was low. It was low cut. I actually got honked at walking in the building. Oh, these big old high heels. I looked a mess walking in there. And I did it on purpose because I knew she would send me back home. She told me I looked nice. I did not look nice. I would have looked the part if I was trying to collect some money on the street corner is what I looked like. And I wore that all day. But you know what? She never sent me home again. Maybe she learned. Maybe I kind of taught her a little lesson too. Like, she was, you know, you meet people or you experience people and they teach you how to be as a person or they teach you how not to be. And she definitely taught me how not to be. I learned how not to treat people by her, and I learned how not to act, because people still talk about her. We remember her, I don't want to say fondly. What's another word for, like, what's the opposite of fondly? That. We remember her that way. Gosh, it's so funny. You know how you work with people, and it's almost like you spend more time working with people than you do at home, because you're there so long every day. And you just... people leave an impact on you. I always like that. Especially, I've always liked working with people who became my friends, because you are with them for so long. You know, you can have them over to your house for parties, or go eat lunch with them, go to dinner with them. They meet your kids, your husband. You know, you just have that little circle. I like that. I like people like that. If y'all hear something, it's my dog scratching to get in. And you know what? She's not coming in. Oh, let me tell you about my dog. Homegirl. She's a heifer. She is a yellow lab. And if you are not familiar with labs, labs like to eat. They eat when they're not hungry. They eat when it doesn't even taste good. They like to eat. And, she's like her mama. She loves to eat. If y'all wonder what I'm doing, I'm not just telling you stories about my life. I am rolling this out. But we went to the beach recently, and we were gone for a full 7 days, from like Saturday to Saturday. So we took her to her daycare. Now, she loves her daycare. Her daycare is one of those, like, I don't know, is it free range? Is that what you call it? Where they don't have kennels. They just leave the dogs, you know, out. They have little cots lined up. And so she has the run of the place. And the woman who runs the daycare loves her. But, I mean, my dog is very, I always say that's how I describe her. Because I'll say, Kappa, do you want a bone treat? I can't say it too loud. She's right there at the door. But I'll say, Kappa, do you want a bone treat? And she wiggles. She wiggles. She'll run over here, wiggle, and dance. She does her little, and her butt's wiggling, her tail's flying around. Oh, she loves bone treats. And so the woman, we call her Linda Lou. Linda Lou loves Kappa. Kappa gets so excited. She starts howling and carrying on, going crazy when we get there. And she loves to see Linda Lou. Loves to see her. And I think I know why. Because homegirl was gone for almost a week. No, I'm sorry. She was gone for longer than a week. She was gone from Friday to Sunday. Y'all, I'm just making sure my dough didn't stick. That's all I'm doing. There we go. Also, that's a good little trick. If you make pies, that's how you can transport your pie crust. You just roll it up, carry it on your roller, stick it on top of your pan, roll it back out, and it just falls in the pan. I say that like I make pies. I just told you I don't. Sausage. In Tennessee, we can buy Wamplers. Wamplers is a phenomenal brand. Wamplers is my favorite. They have a song that goes, Wamplers, Wamplers makes good sausage made on a farm in Tennessee. And therein lies the problem. I buy Tennessee Pride every time. No big deal. It's just not Wamplers. So if you're in Tennessee and you see Wamplers, don't think of the song because you'll buy Tennessee Pride. Anywho, homegirl went to daycare from Friday to Sunday. And I kid you not, she came back. As soon as we got her in the house, I went, she's gained weight. Now, keep in mind, my dog, most labs are around 70 pounds. We fluctuate between 97 and 100. We never want to go above 100 because if we do, we have to buy the additional heartworm pill for like Yorkies up to 5 pounds so we can cover her weight gain, okay? So my husband refuses. He's like, we're not buying those extra pills. So she walks in the door and girl has gained. I mean, she is noticeably larger. And I went, whoa, like what has happened? Why is she so chunky? And my husband was like, oh, well, I haven't noticed. And he goes to get her food and he's like, oh my gosh, she ate twice as much food for what, 9 days? What? 8 days? I'm not good at math. She ate twice as much food. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we're trying to get her down. I actually had to take the collar off of her. And I don't keep her collar tight. Her collar, she could easily wiggle out of it. But homegirl was so chunky, I had to take the collar off. And she has like an indentation in her fur where the collar was. So we're working on her gaining weight. She's perfectly fine being outside. She's wanting to come in and get a bone treat so she can dance. I should do that and show y'all the dance. The little dance she does. She's cute. Hefty, but cute. And really, I know I sang the song and talked about Wamplers. You can use any sausage you want. I'm just a fan of Wamplers. And truth be known, it's probably the song. I'm not ashamed of that. It's a cute little song. It's catchy until you're trying to buy it and you buy Tennessee Pride because it's not the farm in Tennessee. Don't say sausage, just say Wamplers for the best in quality. I think that's how it goes. Gosh. Do they even still make that song anymore? I don't know if they do or not. That's a pretty old song. Oh my goodness. What if I just dated myself? Well, y'all know how old I am. It's not hard to tell by looking at me either. My white hairs. Y'all, I have white hairs. I don't know if I've told you that or not. There's a little speck of something in my sausage. I have white hairs. Like if I pull my bangs back and around the sides of my ears. Heifer trying to get in. I have white hairs. They're not even gray. They're white. They are straight up coarse white hairs. And I'm like, oh my goodness, am I that old? And I'm like, I'm not old. So I don't really know what to do about it other than just accept it. What can I do? Don't pull them out. I've heard that. Don't pull them out. It makes it worse. They're like, isn't it if you pull one out, like 3 grows back or something? Or is that just an old wives' tale? Who knows? I know y'all are watching me. That's why I'm not telling you what I'm doing. I'm taking this sausage and making it flat and just kind of patting it out. You can't really crumble sausage, like you can't sprinkle it. It's so, I guess the fat is where the flavor is. One time I made this, this little, it's like a little finger food, I guess. It's called dirty diapers. I know that sounds gross, but it's like sausage and cream cheese stuffed inside of a croissant roll. It's really good. And I made the sausage and I thought I'll be healthy and I'll kind of, when I drain the grease off, I'll rinse it with a little water so that fat kind of runs out. It tastes like hamburger meat. It was so gross. I was like, I'll never do that again. That's disgusting. Who wants to be healthy? And I know y'all hear me talk about keto every time. We're doing keto. I cannot eat these. But I'm gonna eat one for you guys so you can see. I mean, I'm gonna make one for you guys. But I'm gonna eat it too because I love these things. it became a joke. You know, I talked about Barbara and how me and Crystal ate all the time. It became a joke because Barbara's husband worked there too. He would always say, "You got that plate of food?" Like, I always had food every time he saw me. I had a plate of food every time. He would always come upstairs, and we'd be eating. He'd come up there to get food, and there I was with my big old plate of food. And so I didn't work at that facility for like 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And I transferred back. And when I did, I saw him out in the plant. And he's like, "Hey, you got that plate of food?" It was funny. I was like, "You didn't forget me." And then he retired. Bless his heart. I love these stories about some of these little people I worked with. Now they've retired. It's so sad. It's like, oh, because you know, you have good stories with little old people. I don't want to call them old people because I'm there with my white hair, but you know, you just have little stories and fun little things. I mean, I guess that's where it is, or I guess it's like it is everywhere. Can't just be in Tennessee. We had some fun times though. Oh, the stories I could tell. We have breakfast every morning at church, or not every morning, but every Sunday morning at church. We have like a little lobby that you walk into, like a little lounge area with some chairs and tables and couches, you know, stuff where you could just sit around and talk and drink coffee. And so we started serving breakfast. Well, we've been serving breakfast, but then COVID happened, and it made it really weird. We didn't have service for a while. Everything was online. And then when we finally got back in, you know, we still were taking precautions. So we slowly did food, and we had people serving it with like gloves on and masks, and it was just weird. And so now we're back like full throttle. And so I don't want to ever do the same thing all the time. I don't want people to get used to it. But I've come to learn what people like, you know? So like if I do biscuits and gravy, I know I need to double it. Like I need to make plenty of biscuits and gravy. And the blueberry stuff I made, I did double of that. And I actually had leftovers. So if I do that again, I don't know. I think people were hesitant because they didn't really know what it was. And then after they ate it, they were like, "Holy cow." And one morning I just took fruit in. I made like some fruit salad and I don't remember, not biscuits, but you know, like fruit salad. And I want you to know, one of the men was crazy about it, which is shocking. Usually men is like, you know, bacon and meat, give me the meat, not fruit, but he loved it. I was so excited. He took a bowl of that home with him. So anyway, we do breakfast. And I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over. So this is something new and different, and I think they'll like it. Plus, it'll be quick. So if you're late running in, you know, you always have those people that are late coming into church. Me! Pulling in on 2 wheels. You barely slamming in park before you throw the door open. You make it there by the skin of your teeth. Then you walk in like just the perfect little family. Like, oh, we didn't rush. One kid not wearing shoes. We didn't rush. You can just grab it and go, you know, take a few bites and boom, it's in your belly and you're good to go. Maybe that's what the Bible means by, there's that verse that, you know, I will enter in his gates with thanksgiving. It's because you got food. No, that's probably not it. I should probably take that out. I don't know though. Sometimes I say I'm going to take stuff out and I just leave it in for the world to see. I have no filter, and most of the time, no idea. Oh my gracious. Do y'all see that? Y'all see that? I heard a 4-wheeler. I thought, what in the world? That's my uncle on a 4-wheeler out here with my husband. Sorry. Squirrel. I know y'all saw that though. You can see my driveway back there. I think you can. We live up here. We live on the mountain. We live on 5 acres, and our land is like undeveloped farmland, and nobody's ever had a house on it. So instead of us doing, you know, the normal thing and having it all leveled and like built up, add dirt, you know, level it out, We were just like, build it, it's fine. So you actually have to drive from the road down our driveway, which is cool. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with it until it rains, and then like all the muddy water, all the rainwater goes, you know, down in my flowers. So I have to be careful what I plant because it's Tennessee. We get a lot of rain. And I don't know why I said all that. Just to say, you can see my uncle on his four-wheeler. We have the house that everybody comes to, and I love that. I've always wanted to be the house that people come to. And we're always home. We always have people just come over to visit, or, you know, stop by and bring something, or stop by and get something. And I love it. I love being that house, you know. I love having people over. We have had, we just recently, not recently, you know, in the fall, we had a big shindig for our church, and bonfire and hayride, and it was so much fun. I think people really enjoyed it. And, you know, I had this big plan of, I bought crafts for the kids so they could paint their own pumpkins and make their own little picture frames. And we started, I think, at 5. And I don't know what I was thinking. It's like I didn't think it was going to get dark at 6 o'clock. Those poor little kids. We had them outside with lights on and flashlights, trying to get them to decorate their little, little pumpkins. So if we do it this fall, we'll have to do it earlier. I don't know what I was thinking then. I just love it, though. I love having, and I don't know if it's because I'm a mom, because I have kids, because I was raised here and it's country, and this is how my family, you know, I come from a big family. I don't know what the deal is, but I love it. I love being that house where people can just walk on in, you know. Come on in. Don't take your shoes off. You don't have to do that. Okay. If you can see this, I have taken this sausage and I've just kind of like flatly laid it down, and now I'm just kind of smooshing it, patting it in. You can't sprinkle sausage, and if you try to put it here and rub it out, you're going to rip your biscuit dough. So I'm going to do that. Just pat it. I kind of want to make sure it's in there, because I'm going to take my dough and I'm just going to start rolling. Oh, I can sing! Rolling, woo! Rolling, woo! Rolling on the rip. Oh, wow. That escalated quickly. It's so funny I did that, because I was telling my son the other day about Tina Turner, and I did it. And, of course, I was driving, so I was trying to do that while I was driving and do her little, you know, get excited. Okay, look at this. Holy cow. It's so pretty. I'm so excited. Okay, now I'm just kind of smooshing the ends, because I'm going to cut it. And you know, keep in mind, think cinnamon rolls. Think cinnamon rolls. That's what we're doing. It's not cinnamon. There's no cinnamon in it. But we want it to be like cinnamon rolls. So this is what my youngest calls a wum. Make a wum, Mama. Make a wum. I'm rolling it out into a wum. I am just rolling it because I don't want that middle part to be a little fatter than the ends. I really do want it to be like a worm. And I want to make sure it's seamed together. So with biscuit dough, it's really hard. You can't like pinch the seams and get it to go, because, you know, it's not meant for that. It's not pastry dough. It's meant to be cut and rise. Okay. So now I have a little, like a teensy bit of sausage. Just going to throw that out. And now I forgot my parchment. Sorry, I had to get my parchment paper. I forgot that. So because I'm freezing it, I'm going to put it on parchment paper just so it doesn't stick to my pan. I use these stoneware pans. I dropped my spoon. Whoops. I use these stoneware pans from Paper Chef, just especially for things like this. Typically, the stoneware absorbs any type of extra moisture, so like the grease from the sausage, because it's raw sausage, you know. But because I'm freezing it first, I am putting that parchment down so it doesn't stick. Now, look at that. When you cut it, it's going to kind of mush it, you know, like mush the ends. I always take it and kind of, oh, look at that! Oh, it's going to be so cute! Hey, I'm going to bake this one for us. I have my oven on. I'm a thinker. So, see how it's like a pinwheel? And this side isn't really. So, I'm just going to kind of like mash that down. And I'm going to bake it on that side. This is the one I can show you. The one that I get to eat. Oh, it's going to be so good. So that's in the oven. I forgot I get to eat some. Oh, I love sausage pinwheels. So I don't know how thick this is, but that's how thick I'm cutting it. I don't want to say an inch because I'm not totally sure. That thick. Is that an inch? It's from my fingernail to my knuckle. So maybe, I think that's the measurement. And I am not going to whip out a yardstick and measure it. So I'm putting it on my pan. I don't know if y'all can see it. Okay. And I'm kind of patting it out so you get that true pinwheel look. Oh, it's going to be so good. These are perfect. Gosh, y'all, I might have to make another recipe just because they're so pretty. So see, when you cut it, it looks like that. But I'm going to put it on my pan and kind of pat it out. And it's going to be so pretty. Now, keep in mind, this is biscuit dough. So you don't have to keep these separate. You can put them pretty close together like you would biscuits. It'll be fine. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm so excited. Oh, I need to send Barbara an email and tell her what I made. I haven't talked to her. Well, the last time I saw her was around Christmas. And I was buying all my little, at Christmas I make little gift boxes to give to people of baked goods. And I was buying all my little knickknacks. And I looked awful because I had just dropped the youngest off at daycare, and I don't even think I brushed my hair that morning. I mean, I looked awful. And I saw her, and we were talking. I showed her pictures of the boys, and because she worked there when I was pregnant with my first. And I'm trying to think. She had retired before I had my second. And so I, showed her pictures. She already saw him at we had a work picnic, not last year because of COVID, but the year before. And so she had already seen him, but he was younger, he was 2, and, or almost 2. And, so she, she got to see me and see the pictures of the boys, and I told her about my food I was going to make and all that. She would love to know I'm making her sausage pinwheels, though. Wouldn't that be precious? I need to do that. I'll send her a little email tonight. Say, Miss Barbara, I made your sausage pinwheels. Oh, I could send her the video. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. That might not be good. Y'all, I talk. Lord knows I talk. Woo! Lord, I say too much sometimes. Anyway, this is a little scrap I keep kind of picking up. I don't know why. I know I'm going to put it in with some of this. And see, it cuts awful. Now, if these were cinnamon rolls, I would absolutely tell you to go get your dental floss. If you've not been cutting cinnamon rolls with dental floss, you're doing it wrong. But this has meat in it. You can't really do that. And, I mean, these are going to bake up. Pfft. People are going to eat them. They don't care. These are so good. Yeah, just going to mash that little scrap down in there. So, if these were cinnamon rolls, you would take dental floss, like unflavored, just plain waxed dental floss, and you would take a big long strand, wind it around your fingers like you're going to floss your teeth, but leave it big. Slide it under, bring it up, like you're tying it in a knot. Cross it over and pull, and you have the perfectly round slice of cinnamon rolls. They don't get all cray-cray like this. They don't stick. But just mash that there. See? It looks like that. But when you pat it out, you can make it look more like a pinwheel. Can you see that? And it's biscuit dough. You can manipulate it. It's fine. Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited about these. So listen, y'all, before I keep running my mouth, I'm going to turn this off, and I'll catch back up with you after I have that one out of the oven, and we can eat it. All I'm doing right now is mushing, cutting, mushing, smushing. That's the Amber technique. Cutting, mushing, smushing. Y'all, guess what I got? My sausage pinwheel. Ain't it cute? Look at it. Now, if y'all remember, this was my butt end that I cut off. Ain't it cute? It looks like a little pinwheel. I got a fork. Oh my, look at that. Do you see how flaky that is? I'm gonna cut it so you can see on the inside, we've got the little layers of sausage. Isn't that cool? The little layers of sausage. And it's my biscuit dough, so it's, oh, it's good. That's just the biscuit dough. Sorry, I like my biscuits. Oh, that's good. That tastes like Miss Barbara's. That biscuit dough. Y'all, I make good biscuits. Oh, it's just so good. It tastes just like a sausage biscuit. And then it's got, oh, that's good. I could just eat these things like crazy. Okay, look. Can you see the flakiness? It's not greasy. It's not like all that sausage grease just runs all in your dough. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get it swallowed. It's so good. But see it? See that? It's just like a biscuit. Like it's still, look at this. Watch this. Oh, it's still flaky. Look at that. Oh, and it cooks up so well. This is so good. I think they're gonna like it. That is so good. So y'all, I'm gonna put the recipe in the description. Sorry, I'm still chewing. And you gotta try this. I think I'm gonna call it Miss Barbara's sausage pinwheels because it's Barbara's recipe. I just used my biscuit dough. That's all I did. And it's so good. Oh my goodness. I just, that middle part, look at this. I can't help it. And then the sausage, it's so good. It's not even like the dough's wet or anything. It just bakes together. So the sausage is part of the dough is part of the sausage. It's just so good. It's so good. I didn't mean to eat that whole thing. I was only going to eat half. Make it, taste it, tell me what you think. This is good. And if you do make it, send me pictures, tell me who you made it for. Because it's, oh my goodness. I need to make this again. I know exactly who I'll make it for. I just thought, oh, I love this. Okay, so if you like this, give me the like. Subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be rolling out recipes at least twice a week. That's my game plan. Maybe 3 if you're lucky. Do you feel lucky, punk? And if you have any ideas or any recipes you want me to make or anything that, maybe something you haven't heard of before or it's an old recipe, hit me up. Send me a message, comment below, and let me know, because I am absolutely gonna keep making these. This is fun, and you know, some of y'all like it. So anyway, it's really good. I'm not gonna eat these though. I can't. I was only gonna eat half. Oh, the guilt. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Have a happy day.